Word, world, wealth. World, world, wealth. Words, worlds, wealth. The word creates your world. The world creates your wealth. This is linguistical sovereignty, etymological supremacy, and psychological mastery. 3 books normally sell for over $1,000. Actually, 4 books. I give you all 4 books today for $300. So for $300, you can pick up all 4 books that breaks down linguistical sovereignty, breaks down etymological mastery, and psychological mastery. From the perspective of over understanding that there are 3 things that leads to your words having weight, your words having meaning, your words having impact. So when you speak, I talk about speaking a lot because communication is one of the attributes and characteristics of my life path, my destiny, and my diakonia. So if you're a leader, same thing applies. Instead of speaking, you believe. If you are a tool, you're intuitive. So you'll be talking about, intuition. You'll be talking about, under understanding psychology, under understanding your spirituality. If you're a 3, you're talking about your creativity. If you're a 4, you're talking about your loyalty. You're talking about your dependability. If you're 5, you're talking about your fun, your freedom, your ability to exercise your own sovereignty of your own life. If you're 6, you'll be talking about your compassionate communication. If you're 7, you'll be talking about your analytical, intellectual supremacy. If you're 8, you're talking about your execution. You're talking about your executive. If you're 9, you're talking about your royalty. You're talking about your humanity. Each one of the paths leads you to your cash. Each one of the paths leads you to your cash. But you got to understand your path, which is your words. Words create your world. Your world creates your wealth. 3 keys. Number 1, memory encoding. Number 2, hormone response. Number 3, neuroplasticity. Let's break down the 3 keys or 3 benefits of the 4-book sale that I have going on today. Again, regular sales for $1,200, on sale today for $300. Make the payment. This is transformative information. Memory encoding. When your words that you speak have weight, weight comes from your path. Weight comes from your experiences. Weight comes from your authenticity. So if you're not speaking about what is innate, what God put inside of you, if you're not speaking about that, if you decide you want to talk about oceanography, that's not one of the 9 frequencies. So most people are engaged in unauthorized activity. So they don't have the ability to encode memes into other people's brains. Your aura, your frequency shows up before you do. Your power that's embedded in your vocal cords, your vocabulary comes from God, or source, the pleroma, the monad. The ability for you to speak. Abracadabra, I create what I speak, encodes long-term memories. Number 1, when you speak with weighted words that are emotionally and vibrationally dense, you have passion, you have conviction, you have confidence. When you speak, your words encode long-term memories or memes into the brains of the people that are listening, because faith comes by listening or hearing. Number 1, memory encoding. That's the benefit of connecting with a person, place, or thing that are speaking with a linguistical sovereignty, that they are speaking with etymologically or etymology density, and they are speaking with psychological mastery. Linguistics, etymology, psychology, linguistics, etymology, psychology. That's the ingredients of spirituality. So when someone is a spiritual person, that person is a dense person. That person is a deep person. Because that person have removed their personality and they've downloaded source code, God's purpose. Look at the word, source code. This is about coding. This is memory encoding. So you want to put the God code or God mode, which is one of the books that's included in today's today's 4-book sale. Getting all 4 for the price of 1. Each one sells for $2.99. You get all 4 today for the price of 1. The benefits, the transformation that's going to take place when you read through or listen, because it comes with audio as well, through these 3 books, because you are a book. So you are downloaded, you're activating your own book of life. Memory encoding, number 1. Download God. So God's your source. So when you speak, you're speaking as one who has authority. You are a representative, you're an ambassador of God on earth. Number 1, memory encoding. Number 2, hormone response. So when you speak, bam, there's a chemical response that's released inside of the people who are ding, 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 hearing. So there's a hormonal response. There is a trigger. Your words trigger people. It is releasing serotonin. It's releasing melatonin. It's releasing endorphins. It's releasing dopamine. It's releasing all of the feel-good chemicals in the brain. When you are speaking with weighted words, when you are speaking with purpose-based, when you are speaking with an emotional connection that comes from real-life experience, not just head knowledge, you actually have expeditas, inspiritas. If you're speaking with entheos, you got expeditas and entheos. You got enthusiasm and inspiritas, or inspiration. So now that creates a hormonal response that triggers a release of the reward pathway or the dopamine centers of the brain. When people hear what you say, that frequency that you're speaking on, you're speaking with a specific vibrational intensity. And because you're speaking from a place of authority, from a place based upon not what you read or not what you heard, but what you've personally done. You've already been there. You've already done that. And you've been there, and you've done that multiple times. So you're speaking as one having authority. Because when Jesus spoke, when Yahushua the HaMashiach spoke, he spoke as one having authority. Because he understood his divinity. Remember, you don't get what you chase. You get what you be, what you embody. So your aura is sending out a frequency. This is frequency matching. So people buy or connect or communicate with people who have an aura that is encoding memories, that's triggering a reward center dopamine release through a hormonal response, which takes us to number 3, neuroplasticity. Memory encoding, hormonal response, neuroplasticity. Memory encoding. It must encode memories. Activate long-term memories. Your CA1, CA2, and CA3 of the hippocampus. It must activate long-term memory, long-term storage. Number two, it must create endorphins. It must activate the secretions or the chemistry of dopamine. Number three, it must create neuroplasticity. It must rewire the brain through epigenetics. It must establish a synaptics, that gulf, that gap between neurons. Neurons that fire together, wire together. So that gap between, that synaptic gap between the neurons is shortened. And then there's an electrical response in the brain that bridges the gap. When you speak as one having authority, you're able to bridge the gap and create neuroplasticity and epigenetics. You are rewiring a person's brain. This is the neuroscience of the gospel, or the ghost spell. This is the neuroscience. This is the psychology. This is the biology. This is the cosmology. This is the theology. This is the biology of your words. Neuroscience. Neuroscience is when you create a new neurological network. So when you speak, so you only take advice from people whose words carry weight, whose words carry meaning, whose words carry emotion. If you're listening to someone who's speaking and their words don't carry weight, their words don't carry meaning, and their words don't carry emotion, then you're listening to the wrong frequency, the wrong wave, the wrong verb, the wrong vibration. There is not going to be no transformation. Now, you still can have all these attributes and characteristics, but you may be speaking to a people that are not ready to receive what you believe. Your rewards in life, again, matches your service to your tribe who have the same vibe. Make sure that you're not casting your pearls among swine. Make sure you're not hanging out with people who tolerate you instead of people who elevate you. Make sure that you have the right demographics, the right audience. Your income matches your transformation. Let me say it again. Your income matches your transformation. People who have a money problem, they have a mental problem. Meaning, if you're not the mental equivalent, you cannot hold the vibrational power. If you do not maintain the mental disposition, you cannot hold the physical reality. If you do not establish the mental, which comes from the verbal. So when you establish the verbal, the words, you establish the mental, the world. When you establish the world, you're able to then attract or connect with the wealth. So you don't get the wealth unless you create a vibrational world. You don't get the vibrational world unless you create the verbal world. So unless you use the right word, you can't establish the right world. If you don't establish the right world, you can't embody, you can't magnetize, you can't electrify, you can't commune, you can't communicate, you can't community, you can't connect. So your wealth is the vibrational equivalent of your world. And your world is the vibrational equivalent of your word. Wrong words, wrong world. Wrong world, wrong wealth. So in order for you to be able to manifest be able to magnetize, be able to attract. You don't get what you chase. You get what you identify. You don't get what you chase. You don't get what you pray. You don't get what you believe. You get what you are. Who are you? Who are you at your core? See, who you are, that's the aura that you send out into the world. So does your aura match your money? If your aura doesn't match your money, then your money is going to be funny. What affects your aura? For men, the thing that affects our aura, number one thing that affects a man's aura is his purpose. Men, we get our identity from what we do. Women, the number one thing that affects your money is women get their identity from their community, from their family, from their home, from the love, from the environment. So a woman's money will be funny if a woman does not feel loved. She doesn't feel valued. She doesn't feel heard. A woman, your aura increases when you provide a space and when you create, not the man, but when you, ladies, when you see yourself and when you love yourself. Women, your money matches your frequency of love. Love means evolve. Women, when you are evolving, you are, and you have the womb. You are the matrix. The word womb means matrix. The word matrix means make tricks. So women, your money matches your ability to make tricks. We must define tricks because most people think that it's a negative term. The word tricks has to do with the word magic or the word magi. So the matrix is the ability for a woman. Women, your money matches your ability to make a nest, a home. You can make something out of nothing. Your money matches your belief in your own nest building capabilities. So when a woman truly loves herself, when a woman truly sees her worth and her value, when a woman shows up knowing that she has worth and value, she don't need a man. She desires a man. Bam, that's money. When a woman is attractive, women, you attract men when you attract yourself. When you love yourself, that is attractive to a man. Men, when you provide for yourself. Men, when you protect yourself, mentally or spiritually. A man that is attractive is what Kevin Samuels used to call a high value man. It's not based upon external wealth. It's based upon internal purpose. So men, when you have value, when you show up with a skill set, men, your money matches your problem solving ability. Men, your money matches your problem solving abilities. Men, your money matches your problem solving ability. You solve problems by knowing there is no problem. There is no spoon. Your ability to be attached to source, men, gives you clarity. Clarity gives you certainty. And that certainty gives you confidence. Men, that's how you become a magnet. When you have no options, No options means no manipulation. No manipulation means not in need of outside assistance. Men, when you got the ability to figure it out, you are attractive. When a woman knows that she's married to a man that's going to figure it out, you're going to figure it the fuck out, that's attractive. Where if you weak and you jelly back and you a mama's boy, that's not attractive. Real men, real women, bam, creates a real family. The ability to over understand, I learned this the hard way from 50 plus years of doing it the wrong way. Failure is showing up without purpose. If you show me a man that's struggling, I'm going to show you a man that has no clarity of self. He has no clarity of source, because source and self, they are the same. Your words create your world. Your world creates your wealth. Wealth and health are the same thing. How is it established? Number one, linguistical authority. Linguistical sovereignty. You must have an internal voice that says, I am an individual expression of God on earth. If you do not have an internal voice, if that little voice in your head is saying anything other than when you see me, you've seen the Father. Me and the Father are one. When you have linguistical sovereignty, bam, you activate etymology. A real man knows the meaning of his words. He understands the meaning when somebody shows up in his life. A real man has discernment. A real man knows. He ain't say nothing, but I know whether or not you real or you fake. Your energy shows up before you do. A real man has linguistical sovereignty. A real man operates in etymology. Lastly, a real man understands psychology, because modern day psychology is yesterday's demonology. Modern day psychology is yesterday's demonology. Modern day psychology is yesterday's demonology. So the demon shows up, because demons walk around in plain sight now. When they show up, I got the servant, I can recognize it. So when you understand linguistics, when you understand etymology, when you understand psychology, bam, that activates memory encoding. Memory encoding activates a hormonal response. Hormonal response activates epigenetics or neuroplasticity. Therefore, when you speak, your words have weight. They're heavy because they have meaning. They got purpose. And you carry an electrical magnetic ocean. You emitting and you speak with your emotion. I'm not talking about being animated externally. I'm talking about being animated internal. Internal revelation overrides external demonstration. Let me say it again for the Negroes in the back. Internal. 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 A lot of people have a relationship with the external Christ. But Negro, you got a relationship with the internal Christ. Holler at your boy. Internal revelation overrides external demonstration. One more time. Internal revelation overrides external demonstration. Pick up the 4 books. Each book sells for $300. So 3 times 4 is 12. So each one of these books normally sells for, sorry about that, got my camera tangled up in the wires. So each one of the books individually sells for $3. You got 4 books today, valued at $1,200. You get all 4 today for $300. MasterTeacher30.com. Click on the link that says donation. I'll send you out the PDF and the audios. Let's go. I'm at the top. Come join me. Holler at your boy.